Hey, what's good guys? In this video we will show you the best Brimstone lineups on one of the more difficult maps in the game, Haven. With 3 spike sites, mastering Brimstone lineups for each site on Haven can be very difficult. We have for you Brimstone lineups for every site, attacking and defending, so let's dive right in. Starting off over on A site with attacking lineups, this can be an essential lineup in a post-plant situation. You first need to make sure the spike is planted in the default plant position. You'll position yourself in A sewers just against the wall and the box. Aim just above the middle of the left box at the top of A sewers, where the tree trunk hits the box. After firing, the incendiary should bounce off the wall behind on A site. It will then land on the spike planted in the default plant position. Just be careful you don't get flanked. For our second lineup of the video, this lineup is a lot harder. It will land in the default plant position once again, but this time you'll be on A long. Stand at the top of A long, just on the sandbags. This lineup is very good if you want to play safer in a post-plant situation. Aim the tip of your incendiary icon on your HUD at the tip of the second right peak on the mountain. Fire the incendiary immediately when you hear someone defusing, as it does take a while to come down. Follow it up with sky smokes in A heaven and A sewers, and you can safely push, preventing any chance of an enemy defuse. Before moving over to attacking B site, please make sure you're subscribed and like the video, it'll mean the world. Also, let us know what the best lineup in this guide is down in the comments. Anyways, next up is an incendiary lineup for default plant spot. This lineup is risky to pull off as you'll be exposed in Mid Courtyard, but it's very effective. It blocks off the main entryway from mid to B site. Stand next to the wall and plant pot at the bottom of Mid Courtyard and face B site. Aim for the right hand wooden beam on the entryway, about 1/3 of the way up. An easier way of lining this up is to use the wooden beam on the wall next to it. The lineup will bounce off the wall and land exactly where we said it would. It also drastically reduces enemy movement on B site too. This lineup lands in the exact same place on B site but from B window. Although it is a little bit harder to pull off, you're a lot safer. Stand on the corner of the wall by the entrance to mid window. You don't need to expose yourself to B site with this lineup, but be careful of enemy agents in mid doors. Aim at the top of the white square on the opposite wall, just in the middle of the red outline above. This lineup will take a few practice goes, but once you master it, you can easily prevent B site diffusers. Staying on B site, this post plant lineup is essential if the spike is planted further right. This lineup covers the area nearer to A link. Stand in the corner at the bottom of Mid Courtyard below mid window. Remember the white square we used in the previous lineup? Well, this time, aim at the top right corner of it and then go slightly up to the roof trim. Sometimes your team has to plant here in this corner as it might not be safe. Right here. Having this lineup in your arsenal will allow your B site strategies to be a lot more flexible. Moving over to C site now, we will once again be using the incendiary ability on the default plant position. Our Haven map guide detailed how you should attack Haven, being that you should plant then play off site. This is no different for C site. Stand in the back left corner of C long and aim between the 2 mountains as we do. Line up your crosshair with the white line on the left hand side of the right mountain. The incendiary will bounce off of the garage wall on C site and land correctly. Make sure to tell your teammates to plant here though. If you want to play closer to site in a post-plant situation, we have the perfect lineup for you. Make sure you get your team to plant in the same position as last time for this lineup. Stand in the corner in C Cubby. Aim at the corner of the roof opposite you, then move your crosshair slightly right. The molly will bounce and land directly on the default plant position. This is a very strong position to hold as you can halt enemy defenders coming from C long. Be careful though, as you will be pinned down here. You can easily peek any enemy agents trying to defuse too. Haven is a map where lineups are very crucial and you need to play off-site for a lot of the round. We have in-depth guides on other agent lineups on Haven. These are for Viper, Raze, KO, Killjoy, Sova, Phoenix and Fade. Now back into the video, we're moving over to defending A site. Whilst A heaven is not the best place to be positioned, as enemy attackers often smoke this off, you can use it to your advantage as Brimstone. This lineup is best used to prevent a plant in the default plant position. Aim the incendiary at the middle of the 4 stacked boxes at the top of A sewers. Practice this enough and you'll be able to reliably pull it off through a smoke. The incendiary will bounce and land on the default plant position. This will mess up any other enemy lineups as they will have to plant in a different location. Just be careful not to get headshot whilst in A heaven. Obviously you will not always be on A site to deny a plant if the enemy team rushes the site, but if you're rotating through B site you can deny a plant from A link. Similarly to the previous lineup, it will land on the default plant position. Stand in the corner of A link by the doorway to B site. You then want to aim at the wooden beam just above the roof of the A site wall. Copy how we do it if you're struggling. This does not have to be super accurate, just make sure to get it done. you'll be completely safe as enemy agents should not be near B site if they're planting A site. Just be careful of any rogues. Brimstone's incendiaries are very good at slowing down enemy pushes, so try and do just that. You're better off using the ability rather than not using it because you don't know lineups. Here are some of the best places to use Brimstone's incendiary on A site. Fire the incendiary against the wall of A sewers to prevent a two-pronged attack. Firing the incendiary from behind the boxes on A site at the wall is a very good way to prevent a push from A long. This is because you're very safe behind the boxes and are not exposed. This is best used when you hear an enemy picking up the ultimate orb on A long. We recommend combining these two lineups, with one being covered by the incendiary and the other by a sky smoke. Defending B site doesn't really have many lineups, but we recommend putting a sky smoke or your incendiary at the top of Mid Courtyard. Moving over to C site defensive lineups, the first has you positioned in C link. Stand in the corner by the entryway to B site and aim almost directly upwards. There will be a wooden beam jutting out. Once you have it, aim to the left and fire. The lineup will bounce off the small green box on C site and prevent any enemy agents from planting in the default plant position. This is what Brimstone excels at, forcing enemy agents off of and out of areas they want to be in. To round off the video, we have a couple of easy incendiary shots for C site. Similarly to A site, you sometimes just need to fire a molly without overcomplicating it with lineups. These are the best generic places to fire your incendiary to prevent a push. The first is in C Cubby, and whilst it won't cover the whole area, it will prevent enemy agents from peeking it. The second is into C Garage, down the choke point. This prevents enemy pushes onto C site from mid. Finally, the safest is to fire your incendiary at the top of C long. This is the most common way to push onto C site, and there is no way around your molly here. Once again, like on A site, use incendiary for one of the entryways onto C site, and your sky smokes for another. Brimstone is perfect at slowing down enemy team pushes on defense, so make sure you do. That's all from us and our favourite American Sergeant Brimstone. These Haven lineups should set you up to easily climb the rank ladder. If you need any more Brimstone lineup guides for other maps, we've got you covered. Full detailed lineup guides for Brimstone and every other map in the game are available on our channel and our website. These are Icebox, Bind, Fracture, Ascent, Breeze and Split. We'll catch you guys next time.